myself. Because I didn't know who to trust. They all look like him. 8.5 years old. Taffy.
Oh, God.
How old are you? 8. He's 8 years old. I was 8.5 when my mother's boyfriend took my childhood away from me. Took my childhood away from me. But God,
the blood of Jesus against that.
My mother knew about it. Okay, fine.
My God.
My mom came to me 2 days ago.
The blood of Jesus.
My mom was raped.
The
It's not
blood.
that. Okay. I'm bringing awareness.
She is lying. She is lying. I know you about to the blood of Jesus against her.
She never hugged me.
She is lying.
No.
She is lying.
We're dismissed.
There is a God in heaven. She is lying. She might lie and she can't lie.
We are dismissed.
YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now, as you all can see, this woman was basically standing up, giving her testimony / confession, if you will. And I'm not talking about usher confessions, even though it borderlines on sexuality, if you will. Now, little did everyone know that this woman was going to get up and spill the beans. No, I'm not talking about the baked beans that's in your refrigerator. No, I'm talking about the truth, the raw and uncut truth that some of you all have a problem with hearing and also digesting. And this is what happens a lot. And not only these black churches. So people need to stop saying that it's only the black churches that has these pedophilia going on, these predatory men, or whether it's women too, because women be getting it on just as much, if not more than the men. So it's not just no one group of demographics of people that's doing it like the men. No, it's both parties. But this woman right here, and I congratulate her, number one, on being brave, because it takes a brave, special soul to get up there and bear the hard, uncut truth that nobody want to hear. And the funny thing about the truth is this right here. See, it's like medicine. Nobody likes medicine, but medicine is good for you if you take it in doses. You can't take too much of it, because too much truth like medicine might make you overdose. So you just want to get a little bit in at a time. And I knew from the moment that she called, I guess that was her son, up there to the altar with her, that she was going to use him as an example when she asked him his age, and you know, as a metaphor to herself. She was like, you know, how old are you? He said 8 years old. Yeah, he said 8 years old. And then she goes on to state her story, how her mom boyfriend molested her at 8.5 years old. And you know she's telling the truth, because she remembered the half and everything. So the killing part about it, instead of the mom, you know, going up there to console her daughter, instead of her, you know, like, you know, supporting her in any kind of way, even if she didn't want to go up there in front of everybody to console, you still have a responsibility toward your child, because you got to understand one thing, that she was molested by the hands of a guy that you were sleeping with. I'm talking to the mom now. So for her to get up there and talk about sounding Jamaica like the Bumbleclot blood of Jesus, something like that, you know, that goes to show you that it's a lot of hidden things that goes on inside these churches. But these people be the main people standing up and trying to call people out, trying to rebuke other people, if you will. Like, how you going to come and sweep around my doorsteps when your doorsteps is dirty also, like the old folks say? How you going to come over here and get the log out your brother's eye when you got a log big as a sycamore tree in your eye? Can somebody tell me that? Can I get an amen on that? But I tell you one thing, though. I have had my share of hearing confessions in the church. I done hear people say everything from the deacon getting one of the members' daughters pregnant. I didn't hear things from the one of the guys taking the church van and riding all across the country in it, damn near in the state. You know, they looking for the church van. The church van ain't there till the next week. This guy gone somewhere else. Then he'll use some kind of excuse. Something happened with his mom or something. She was a sickly old lady. So he'll use that as an excuse that he didn't have no transportation. He had to take the van. So people that was waiting to go to church basically had to call friends and relatives or whoever would drop them off at the church or if they're going that Sunday. So it's all kind of things goes on this church. But the thing about this situation right here that I didn't really like is the fact that the mom, you know, in the audacity of her to even stand up and show her face, you should have just sat down. I'm sure if these people been attending this church for many of years, that the congregation, the minister, everybody, the first lady, everybody knows who they are, the mom and the daughter I'm talking about. So for her to stand up and make a big scene about it is very touching. And it goes to show you that old wounds don't heal too easily, if you will. Let me repeat that. Old wounds do not heal too easily, because I have known people personally that was abused by their mom boyfriend. I have known children personally, you know, some of them, matter of fact, to be honest with you, one of them is related to me, and I'm not going to call no names out. I'm just going to keep it 100, because for me to sit up here and share other people's experiences and not reflect on my own, you know, is very hypocritical. And for people who do that, you need to be careful with people who do that, where they always try to shine a light on themselves and they never talk about themselves or their own family. But I had a cousin that was abused by her stepdad, and the mom caught them in the act, caught actually him on top of her. You know, she had came in from work and the guy was off that day, I guess. And she was in there in the bed, you know, with him and stuff up under the sheets. And, you know, as the story goes, my relative goes in the room and sees her daughter in there with the guy, which was her husband, on top of her. And the guy was way older than her, you know. So it's a very crazy situation. So let me tell you firsthand that this stuff does happen. You know, notice I didn't give out any names or anything else, because you still have to protect the identity of the people, especially since the fact one of them was kin to me. So I'm speaking from a different perspective also, to let you know that, yeah, it does happen. So when you hear people saying this, it's true. You have women come out making false allegations against the likes of Bill Cosby and the likes of Russell Simmons. Now, I don't know what went on with Russell or Bill, because I wasn't there. But at the same time, you have to understand, and not to take anything away from this lady credibility also, but the fact that people do lie. But for one thing and for one reason, for some strange reason, I believe this woman right here, because it takes a bold person many of years later, and you know, and she's probably every bit of 30, 35 years old. So this has been on her heart a long time, and people don't understand. It's like a weight wearing you down. It's like when you know you did somebody wrong, or if you could have helped somebody, or if somebody done wronged you, and you carry that burden, you carry that load on you. You know, it started out as a 5-pound weight. 10 years go by, that 5-pound weight done turned into 50 pounds. 5, 10 years, 15 years go by, that 100-pound, 5-pound weight done turned into 1,000 pounds. And now it's overwhelming, it's overbearing, which means it weighs you down. And that's why you see a lot of people acting a certain way, because they have stuff on them, I mean, inside of them and on them also, that is unresolved issues. And you know, and you would hurt also if that was your mom, boyfriend, your / stepdad, whatever you want to call him. If your mom with the man living with you, that's your stepdad. You know, whether he a bum, whether he works or not. Just the same if you was living with your dad and he invited some woman in and they lived together, that's still your stepmom, however you want to say, my dad friend, still your stepmom in a certain way. So it should come with a level of respect, because the guy being the older person, which I'm talking about, the woman in questioning, her mom's boyfriend, him being much older than her, you know, he knew damn well he was wrong, because common sense would have told him this is a child. Why go mess with the child when you having a mom? And also, and I'm not going to call no names out, the person would know who I'm talking about when I speak them, because this done happened more than one instance in the last 2 weeks, where I be getting a lot of comments, and I be overwhelmed by the comments. So if I don't get back into you in a timely manner, understand I deal with thousands of comments every day. Truthfully, you know, that's why I've been so busy the last couple of days handling business and everything and trying to catch up on everything, you know, because, you know, me and my little team, it's overwhelming when you have so many comments. You have people asking this, you have people requesting that. And I'm not talking about in the hundreds, I'm talking about thousands, you know. So it's hard to get to everybody, but I will get to you in due time. But I had a couple women had, you know, requested that I had speak on certain things, and the other one just confided in me. And I would not say no, I would never do that. But it goes the same story as this goes right here with the woman with her mom boyfriend. You know, one of them had her boyfriend was basically loving on her daughter, instead of, appreciating the mom and what the mom got. No, he don't want the mom. He don't want the mature fruit. No, he want the fruit that's still growing. He want to be having his cake and eating it too, like we say. He want the mom and also the child. Now, one thing about it, it's bad enough, no matter if the girl was 20, 25 years old, the one I'm talking about in questioning right now, and her mom was in her 40s. Okay, that's still wrong in itself, but still the person is still grown. If you don't want to be with the mom, you can't tell nobody who to date or who to coat, even though they don't use that word no more, once they get grown. But at the same time, it's different when the person is a child, when the person is below the legal age limit. Even some of these age limits is crazy, like 16 years old there, 17 years old there. When you were 16 and 17, did you have your mind made up? Did you know exactly what you need to do? No. So to me, myself and I, that's still a child. That's still a growing mind. No matter how grown you think you are, no matter how much you smell yourself, at 16 and 17, you're not ready to make grown up decisions. So what I said that to say this is the fact that if you don't want to be with the mom, and the mom, has an older child, which is, however, 20 and older, that's your right if that's what you want to be. But don't try to have both parties, because now you're splitting up homes. And who's to say if that mom and daughter didn't have some kind of strenuous type relationship? Who's to say if they was always on good terms? So you don't really know what you're doing. But this is what happened when a lot of men think with the head below instead of head above, if you will. Let me all know what you think about this video right here. And to this young lady, I personally congratulate you. I know the leg show, Trey, stand beside you, because I realize and I can feel when somebody is lying, even though it's not 100% accurate, but it's 99% accurate. It's that 0.1% who get by. But something tells me in my spirit that this woman was telling the truth. And for her mom to get up and have the audacity to sit up here and try to silence her daughter, in just the same way with the woman that was smoking crack. I'm not going to call her no crackhead. I'm not going to call her no basehead, even though really behind closed doors, and trying to be politically correct, we would say that person is not. But we know what we say about people that's on drugs and out there, prostituting for money. Just like the lady that was in church gave her testimony, and she was talking about how she was out there doing all kinds of things. And true enough, if she comes from the street and she done had her mind messed up, she's not going to give up there and give a well-educated, articulate comment. And so for the people to sit up here and say that this woman was wrong, no, this woman was speaking her truth. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with humanity and the people, is the fact they always trying to judge somebody else on their truth. How can you judge somebody else on their truth? And I see this all across the spectrum of YouTube, especially YouTube. How can you judge somebody on their truth? You never hear me one time question somebody on their opinion. You never heard me sit up here and make a video about somebody because they said a certain thing if it was their opinion. Because we all entitled to our opinions. But who are the hell these people that's holier than thou to hush that woman up, the one that was smoking drugs and gave the testimony, the video I did a couple weeks back? Who are these people to silence her? When I understand that you don't want children to hear certain things, or children is in the audience. But what the hell is church then if you can't go there and tell the truth? What can you tell the truth at? What can you tell your truth at? In the same situation when this woman right here, when they try to cut her off, when she started exposing her mom and her boyfriend and everything, and the mama was basically going to get up and call a doggone lie, so what can you go to get healing at? What can you go to find solace and peace at if you can't go to the church house? And notice, as soon as she got through saying her little message and everything, even she wasn't even through. Matter of fact, let me clean that up. She wasn't even through. The guy, it's always a guy come grab the microphone from, look like the same guy, minus 75 pounds, that was up there at the altar with the lady that was smoking drugs and everything. That gave her testimony talking about how she was out there performing sexual acts. And we ain't got to say really what it is, because it's a time to play and it's a time to be serious. And this is a time to be serious right here. Let me know what you all think about this situation right here, because let me tell you something. We all have sinned and came and fell short of the glory. So who am I to tell you about this or that? I just give my opinion and that's it. But I would never sit up here and call myself a preacher or a person that's holier than thou. And people come up with all kinds of illnesses, things wrong with them, whether it's mental, whether it's something they did in their life or whatever. We all done did something in our past. And something has happened to all of us. It might not been rape. It might not been your stepdad or some older lady touching you. But trust me, we all done been did wrong in some kind of way. Let people speak their mind as long as they're not being violent and being too vulgar. Let people talk. Let me know what you all think. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like, subscribe. Definitely share the video with your holier than thou friends, because people need to clean themselves up. Because people have a way of always trying to shine the light on themselves and talk about other people when your own house ain't in order. Let me know what you all think. Till next time, y'all stay blessed. I'm out.